Haven't been here for a minute.
It feels crazy. For those who don't know, we got Josh D, aka Wendell, aka Josh Deadeye in the building.
What is happening?
Welcome back. Probably only this episode again. We'll see you in another year after today. Is that what it is?
I'll try to make it a little bit more frequent, but yeah.
You said last time.
But I made it. It's frequent.
Only took you 9 years.
I'm frequently enough to hear once a year. It works.
I mean, a pandemic happened, and
That's true.
So people just dropping dead out here.
Don't blame the dead on your mishappening. Don't do that.
Oh my God!
The only shiny bald head in the room over here. Got to show off my fresh cut.
Oh, I just cut mine an hour ago.
No, everyone has a hat except me.
I like how Dave and I are probably the only ones here with full beards and hair. Is that what's happening? You guys, we didn't get the memo. You guys kicking us out? Majority all over.
I thought we were supposed to represent a certain type of personality here.
For real. Sheesh.
What? Scruffy?
Scruffy? That's great. Oh man, how's it going, guys?
Wild.
I'm good.
Happening. The world is crazy.
Are you guys are under lockdown again, right? For another month?
Yeah.
It's another month again. After there's been more time added.
No, relax, Dave.
Please no.
It's to the end of this month.
Yeah, this is how misinformation spread. Dave is like, wait, it's till November? It's till December 1st? It's till January 2021? It's
true. It's technically like March 32nd, 2035 right now. That's what it feels like. It's crazy. So much time has passed by and so little time at the same time. It all just feels like one day, It's crazy.
That shit's real.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part. Yesterday, my partner and I were looking through a list of all the shows we'd been watching, and she's just like, "Oh, we watched this show and we watched this show," and I was just like, "Yeah," and she's just like, "Wait, these shows all came out this year?" And I was like, "Yeah, those all came out in 2020." She's just like, "No, Lock and Key was in 2020," and I'm like, Lock and Key was this year," and she's like, listing off all these shows.
Lock and Key was this year?
Yeah,
that's crazy. I actually thought that was last year.
Exactly. That was her point.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure Lock and Key was the beginning of this. Oh, you're reading it. Dope. Yeah, the comic books, graphic novels are very different from.
Super wild. I'm not watching the show yet, but the first one, super.
Yeah. Isn't the writer Stephen King's son, or is I'm thinking of something else?
Yes. Shout outs to Lee J watching us on YouTube. Just a reminder to people, the fact that he's watching on YouTube is a very specific thing because we are moving exclusively to YouTube as of next week. So we won't be on Facebook anymore. Yeah, Skinny, you weren't there at the meeting.
Hold on.
Didn't you read the minutes?
I did.
Yeah, we have the meeting notes.
Yeah, I did send you the notes for the meeting. So we're not going to be on Facebook anymore as of the 21st.
Look at us.
Wow, you know what? After this podcast, we're going to have to take this talk offline for you, Skinny, apparently.
Yeah,
you're hearing it for the first time, just like our listeners.
Praise the you.
You know what I just realized, too, then? If you didn't check the minutes out, there's a bunch more that's changing that you're not aware of.
Yeah, there's some shit you got to... I listen to it.
Okay.
Guys, I've had 2 funerals in 1 week.
Understood. We know why. I think I thought you weren't there.
Oh fuck! Goddamn!
Well, as Doug was saying, we're moving over to YouTube. We have a date.
Yeah, as of the 28th, we're going to be on YouTube exclusively.
Right after your lockdown, folks.
Yeah. So join us on YouTube. when we do the live stream. And you can still always listen to the audio on franklinarmstrong.com/live. But even that, you're going to be getting more updates in the near future. So stay tuned and keep checking out our website in the meantime. But yeah, a lot of things are going to be, we're doing a lot of stuff, guys. We, if you guys are already watching us on Facebook and have already joined our Facebook page, send it to a friend. Let people know about the Franklin Armstrong Collective. Let them know that we are going to be doing some cool stuff in the near future and that they should be subscribed to us on YouTube and checking us out on franklinarmstrong.com/live.
Yeah, we're trying to grow that subscriber count the moment we start on YouTube. Facebook is still active. Our page is still active. We're actually close to 500 likes finally. That's our goal for the end of October. So if you guys can do us a favor and just share the invite links for people to like the page, they can follow too, but the likes matter as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, this is yo, Jaws, did you have a chance to watch The Boys?
No, I haven't. I've just been watching all the memes everyone's been making and stuff like that and enjoying it that way. Secondary enjoyment.
That's fair. But yeah, we're going to be talking
secondary
about the
enjoyment of what?
Of The Boys. Like
The Boys?
I saw a meme someone said, like, when I invite a friend over and then make them watch The Boys season 2, and then someone's like, what the heck is wrong with you? And it's just Carl Urban with the teacup, like, what?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Okay. Are we jumping right into The Boys conversation right now?
Yo, I'm for jumping into The Boys because I just rewatched it.
Let's do it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna jump on something completely off topic before we go into the actual show. But do you remember when Kripke at the beginning of the first season, right? He said he brought a bunch of ideas to the producers and stuff like that. Like, this is what I want to do with the show, and they were absolutely okay with everything except for one thing.
Yeah, they did,
and they actually did it in season 2. Homelander on top of the building over New York. Jerking off over New York City.
Oh my god!
He wanted to put that in season 1, and they weren't going to allow it.
I don't understand why they wouldn't allow that.
Because they thought it was too much compared to everything else. They're like, this is a little much. Literally, that's what they said.
They said while you're getting jerked off, but we can't jerk off onto a fictional city.
Yeah.
Like, I get why they're like, maybe they felt like maybe this was the tipping point for people if they left this scene in, and I can see why. And I think first season was kind of like a tester, like, hey,
bastard.
What's that?
They called someone a yellow bastard on the show.
Well, I can honestly see it. Yeah, I can see it their way in the sense of you don't blow your load in the first season.
Shame on you, Joe.
I'm here all night. Tip your waitresses.
Act like you never left.
Oh my god, damn
it. That's great. Yeah, no. So when I saw it, I was like, all right, I think season 3 is going to be even more crazy now that he's allowed to bring this back in. If it could get any crazier than this season, yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to season 3.
If I remember right, there was a meme that I saw as well where they're like, I would prefer these 3 girls from The Boys to be the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh,
I'm sure.
I've been seeing a lot of those memes that the 3 of them are the Powerpuff Girls. I don't know if you guys saw that too, but like people are going crazy with them like beating on Stormfront and then making Stormfront. Who's the dude that you hated, Skinny? That you were like, this isn't a good villain. The monkey dude? Yeah. You don't like Mojo Jojo. You said the real best villain was him, right?
Yeah, Mojo Jojo. I like Mojo in comparison to him is in. Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're saying. But yeah, that's wild. I mean, Kripke wrote a hell of a season. That's the one thing I got.
So compared to season 1, first of all, before we get into it, then what do you think? Which one was better?
Season 2.
Season 2.
Yeah, I like.
Wow. I think season 1 was exactly what it was supposed to be, which was this is like season 1 told you what you're dealing with, and season 2 is like the actual story.
Yeah, you kind of got sold on the stakes in season 1, and then I think season 2 they're making that steak nice and medium rare. It was perfect. It was great. It was almost as great as seeing Stormfront get her ass kicked.
we're gonna get to that. But I mean, one of the reasons I like season 2 better is because I guess the fact that I'd already read the comic book, I knew quite a bit about the characters. So season 1 is for all of you guys in who've done university here in Montreal or in Quebec. You know when all the kids from out of province come to university here, and that first semester feels like everything you did in Cégep, where you're just your teacher is just repeating everything because the kids from out of province were technically just in high school yesterday. Meanwhile, we've been in Cégep buying books and doing almost university life already. That's what season 1 felt like. Season 1 felt like I was in that first year university class, and every kid in the class from out of province is sitting there trying to understand 3-point lighting in cinema, and I've already made movies in Cégep.
But I think what made it interesting for you, though, then in that case, is the fact that they changed the background for a lot of the characters.
Yeah, but they didn't. I didn't really care. I don't want to. There's no sympathy for the devil in this. Like, I don't care about the background for Homelander. I don't feel bad for Homelander that he was kept in a little box and he turned into a bad guy because no one loved him. I don't give a fuck. I really didn't. Like, it didn't mean
like that's cold, man. That's cold.
But
it's your nurture that makes you who you are. You're supposed to buy into the fact that he wasn't brought up, in a good.
He didn't get breastfed. So we're gonna have him about breast for a full season. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god!
A grown ass man obsessed with this woman breastfeeding her child and just be jealous, constantly staring at the baby. I was like, yo, what is with this dude?
This is fantastic. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and name you the Billy Butcher of the group. Just based on what you just based on
as
what
long
you
as they're
said.
not being a cunt, I don't care.
Don't do that. This is race relations. Don't do that.
Oh, man, no, I loved it. I loved it.
So you want me to give you guys who I think the boys' characters are right now?
Fine, give it to me.
All right, cool. So definitely Billy Butcher with that cold ass open we just got before. I'm gonna give MM to Jaws.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Huey Dave.
Okay.
And it's between Frenchie and the girl. I could take Frenchie and call you the girl, but it's not like I think you're a girl. I think the girl's badass.
The female of the crew is badass.
Sorry, I called her the girl. The female of the crew.
One thing is in the comic books, I think that's what's her name for a long time in the comic books.
That is her name in the comic book. I don't think they give her a name forever in the comic book.
Yeah.
But now she has a name. And I remember thinking, I guess you have to do that because it's kind of rude to not name her Kimiko.
Yeah, of course. With the whole
if you're gonna
and everything
boy,
too.
Yeah, you can't just call her the female of the the female of the species. Not even the female.
Yeah.
Of the species. I was wondering how they're gonna get around stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I watched season 1, and when I watched it, I was just like, okay, you guys are changing things up in ways that I don't actually like or care for, and that's fine. Like, I didn't like the way they killed Huey's girlfriend, because in the comic book, the way they kill the girlfriend is a very specific thing. She is killed. It is like 100% their fault. Season 1 of the show, you still have people saying, well, she was standing off the curb. She was, and I said it. She was not on the sidewalk. She was off the curb.
She was off the curb where you parked the car. Like, right on that side of the road.
Don't get me wrong. Still wrong that this dude killed her, but you made it not 100% that a hero acted stupidly. You made it that she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I don't like that. I think
what they did by doing that then is making it more about how A-Train acted afterwards than the actual act itself. Right?
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, because A-Train very much was like, I can't stop, I gotta go, and then bolts. In the comic book, he doesn't care. He's just it wasn't even him that ran through. He threw a villain through her and exploded her body. And then so season 1 was a lot of stuff of like them changing. I didn't care about Pop Claw. I know some people were just like, oh, but his love, and no, I don't care. I didn't care about Pop Claw. I didn't care when she killed that dude. I didn't care about how bad the Deep felt and his like PTSD / depression. So I didn't care. Like season 1 was a lot of me not caring about these characters, but just being exciting because there was a lot of world building, and I was excited to see what they did in season 2. Then we got to see.
I preferred the deep story in season 1 to what I saw in season 2. I hated him. I hated the fact that
season 2
in anything.
In season 2, he was officially a joke.
He's a loser, basically.
But he is a joke.
I mean, even in like comedic, he was only anytime he was there, he was meant to be comedic.
Yeah, that's what Aquaman is. Do you guys respect Aquaman? I'm sorry.
I do actually respect Aquaman.
Wait.
So the deep,
not always.
You guys respect Aquaman now, but if we're being straight with ourselves,
forever. No. When I was a kid, I made fun of that.
Hold on.
Do you know the run?
If he was not cool or had abilities when we were kids, he was a punk when we were kids.
Right. As a kid, I didn't respect Aquaman.
There's a reason
I didn't. But do you
Big
remember the run where he loses his memory and he like finds himself again? You remember that? It's kind of like the Thor story, but for Aquaman. Hold on, I'll
did not care enough to be able to read that far, sir.
Oh god!
Toby's just like, did you read this? And I'm like, no, because I didn't like Aquaman. Skinny, I'm sorry.
I respect Aquaman from when I was a kid. From A, Justice League Unlimited. B, the nigga can swim. I can't. There.
That's it. That's a superhero right there.
That's true. He, every time he was in the ocean, he prayed Aquaman was there to save him. But the run I'm talking about is the one they used for that Throne of Atlantis animated movie.
Okay. Well, okay. But what
year did Devin said it when the D52 what's it called?
The new 52.
New 52, yeah.
Okay, but real quick, what year did Justice League start, or Justice League Unlimited, where they introduced him?
Yeah, I would say in the 2000s, early 2000s.
Okay, I don't consider, because I mean, it depends, I guess, on when you started reading comic books, but I was reading comic books before then, so that's why for me. That's why for me, Skinny's like, I'm not trying to hate.
Because that version of Aquaman had a harder head. That version of Aquaman had a harder edge.
Checking us like that, Brian.
I know, right?
Right. I don't know about you guys,
but I've been reading comics forever.
Well, no, I said it. I'm not saying it to gatekeep. I'm saying it in the sense that, like, I don't know when anyone else started reading, and I'm speaking for myself. But the only thing was, if I was reading comic books before Justice League, Aquaman been a joke, and then they tried to make him cool, and then they made him somewhat cool when he had a hook for a hand, and it was just like, okay, this dude's kind of badass. This motherfucker cut his own arm off, and you're like, okay, I'm down with this dude. And then Momoa plays him, and you're like, okay, now I'm down with this dude. But let's not play like Aquaman. Who watched Super Friends?
Okay, hold on, time out. I don't want to go further down this Aquaman line. Growing up, I don't think any one of us liked Aquaman growing up. But I think at some point,
I didn't know him super well. I didn't know him super well until I guess Justice League really, and that's when he had like the goatee. He had the longer hair. They were like kind of edging him up a little bit. He cut off his hand for his son.
Yes, exactly.
So you're like, oh, okay. And he's like, I could do some damage with one hand. Watch this.
That's crazy. Anyone who wants their mind changed on Aquaman, watch Justice League Throne of Atlantis. That's all I'm saying. But yes, Brian is right, Devin. We get it. No one respects Aquaman.
and then the Marvel people in the corner about, what about Namor?
Yeah. But that's the thing. You know what? If the Deep was a version of Namor, I would respect it more, because Namor is an actual like dominant character. He's been around since the original what was that original team, the Invaders? He's been around since the Invaders, when they had the World War II comic. He's been around. He's the first mutant. Or one of the first mutants. They keep flip-flopping on who's what. He's the
first Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yes.
Sliding into DMs. Oh, your man busy working? Let me just get in there. How you doing, girl? You see this swimmer body I got here? Don't mind my feet. They got wings on them.
Don't mind my
But
feet.
facts, like that's everything you're saying is true, and that's like if the Deep was that guy, I'd be like, okay, but you can tell the Deep isn't that guy. The Deep is almost a version of Aquaman, circa Super Friends, where no one gave a crap.
For sure. And I think because of the thing he did in season 1, where he practically sexually assaulted a girl, I don't think he deserves any sort of redemption. So I'm okay with him being the joke. I just prefer the hell he was going through in season 1 to what he's kind of going through in season 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it should still be just as dark and bad for him in season 2.
Yeah.
That's what you get you over. Yeah, I see why you're doing. But yeah.
Yeah, but you know that season 2 is for him. Season 2 is a build up to exactly what you're asking for season 3. He's gonna snap. I'm pretty sure in season 3 he's going to be a villain.
Bro, I would love that. I would love that.
I think he's gonna try and take more. What's it called? Compound V to like get better powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the funny thing though is they target and make him the joke, but then you have Ashley Colby Minifee, who is the real joke. Like, it's one thing to be a suit and be a joke, but that assistant girl, I feel that girl. The scene where they have her taking care of the kid, Ryan, in the room, and then they come in and start talking as if he'd been alone in the room, and she keeps telling them like, no, I've been here all day doing activities with him. And they keep saying, been alone in this. I'm like, yo, y'all are and they're looking at her and still saying, yeah, it must have been so boring in this Death Star all alone, just sitting here working on this map. And
I'm trying to remember, though. In season 1, she did sort of betray, like she was trying to come after the throne, right? In some way, if I remember correctly. I don't remember.
She was just the assistant, and she was just passing.
She didn't do anything snaky. No,
they fire her, and then they bring her back when what's her name? When he kills Elizabeth Shue's character.
Yeah. Okay, I don't remember. I feel like she did something, and that's why she's being punished for it this season. But yeah, this season she definitely is a joke, sort of. Just I don't even know what her role is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he brings her on just to be the lapdog, but then he doesn't respect her. And it just devolves into this even more depressing thing of watching her hair come out, her like freaking out.
Yeah.
If you're gonna talk about someone jumping on Compound V, Ashley's someone that I would expect to jump on Compound V.
She'd go villainous instant.
Yeah. Because if you're gonna treat someone like shit for all this time, threaten their life, he's the strongest man in the world. He has the ability to just kill you. You've seen him smack the ears of that like Daredevil dude. So he gives no fucks about anybody.
That guy was so cool, though.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You know how she's gonna take if she does take Compound V. You know how it's gonna go down. I bet she'll still be a joke. I bet he'll push her she'll be in a scenario where she either saved the day or he's about to kill her, and then she'll get her hands on like, brah, take it, and you'll see that the Compound V kills her instantly. I bet you. Explodes.
That's
maybe
sad.
That's really sad.
She doesn't deserve that kind of death.
Yeah, Dave, that was dark, dude.
It was dark, but that's what they'll do to make a joke on this show. I guarantee you.
I just wanted to paint Dave as the darkest motherfucker in this room.
Yeah.
Fuck you, motherfucker. No,
he's trying to take the title off himself. After that Homelander tirade. He's literally just saying this girl is being treated poorly and that's what's gonna make her go bad. But Homelander, nah. He's treated poorly, but he's bad because he wants to be bad.
he's just a jerk because he likes power.
Oh man, that's good. Anything else this season that stood out? The little boy, what do you think is gonna happen with him?
There's so much to talk about. Ryan is like, okay, so here's one thing. The fact that they changed the comic book, or they changed, well, okay, spoiler for the comic book. If you guys have not read The Boys, we're going to reveal something right now. So if you don't want to know, I'm telling you now to just hold for at least 1 minute. In the comic book, Black Noir is, you guys all know in the room already, right? Who Black Noir is in the comic book?
You can tell me. I'm down. I want to know.
Yeah, same here.
I do know.
Okay. In the comic book, Black Noir is essentially is a clone of Homelander.
Oh.
And he's a contingency plan that if Homelander goes on a tirade or goes too far, he's supposed to kill him. on spot. That's why he's always with him in the comic book.
So why is he deformed though?
He's not.
So
in the comic book, he's just a guy wearing a mask, and it's Homelander under the mask the whole time.
So
Oh,
the side
shit.
story. So the side story here, in addition to what Brian just said, in a graphic novel, they're not doing this in a show at all. I can see that.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, but
In
Ryan,
the graphic,
I'll just finish this. Ryan, I feel, is the new contingency plan for Homelander, whereas in the comic book it was Black Noir. Sorry, go ahead. Toby.
and on top of that, in the graphic novel, Black Noir was the one who raped Butcher and killed Butcher's wife. Because he was going so crazy over time, because he was made for one mission only, and that mission was to kill Homelander. Homelander goes bad. But imagine decades go by of that one mission he's been made for not coming to fruition. So that starts driving him slowly insane to the point where he starts setting Homelander up in ways that makes Homelander guilty enough for him to go, like, to accomplish his mission.
Yeah.
So one of the things he did was rape and kill Butcher's wife in the graphic novel.
Yeah. They're hoping
because he looks like Homelander. He's literally his clone.
He looks like, and he's hoping to set it up so that he gets the kill order to kill Homelander.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, like, at that point, though, Vought has to be thinking, well, what if it wasn't Homelander and it was Black Noir? That's one of the things that I didn't really understand about the plan. At that point, wouldn't you say, wait, we have a perfect clone of this dude? Why, like, how do we know it's not the perfect clone?
Yeah.
And what's the relationship that Homelander and Black Noir have in the comic book?
They're still teammates.
Yeah, he doesn't know that it's a clone of him. He just knows
Black Noir has the mask all the time, right?
He never takes that mask off in the comic book.
Yeah.
And does he ever speak? Because wouldn't he sound the same?
No, he doesn't speak in the comic book.
I think when he performed the act, maybe, but like,
yeah, he doesn't.
Outside of that, he doesn't speak. Yeah.
Yeah, just like everything that you see in the show is the same, except for the fact that he's not Homelander's clone.
We can tell he's not. He's lifted his mask already. Like,
yeah.
Him being allergic to what chocolate or peanut or whatever?
Almonds.
Almonds? I was like, really?
Which is and the moment they did that, that was the moment that I was just like, oh, I get it. You guys are depowering this dude by a hell of a lot, and you're gonna replace him with someone. And at first I was just like, who are they gonna replace him with? And then that's when it dawned on me, oh, Ryan is his son and has the same power set. And that's why I was like, okay. So and he's
how much of a skip ahead do you think we'll get by like season 5?
I'm not sure, but I think Ryan's going to end up being in the school, and I think that kid's going to be one of the center characters of the new school program, like that spin-off show. Sorry, Skinny, you were about to say something. My bad.
That's a good one, Brian.
I don't think they'll go too far ahead as season 5 is their last planned season, but they could go further. But yeah, I'm all for it. I'm excited for what they'll do.
So season 5 is their last season. Then if that's the case,
he said that they have it planned up to season 5, and after that, he also did Supernatural, so that nigga could whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
I thought with Supernatural it was McG doing it he had a set plan, and then when he was done with that set plan, he's like, okay, you guys can run with it with whatever you want. I'm gonna peace out.
It was Kripke. Kripke is the one for Supernatural, and it was 5 seasons planned, and the show was supposed to end, and he actually didn't want them to continue, and they continued.
Yeah.
For how long did they go? 15?
This is 15. They added 10 years on top of his series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember one of the first TF cons in the States, the bigger hall was the Supernatural convention.
Yeah.
So all these dudes with their toy robots are like, yeah. Why are there so many girls here? And why are they all dressed so weird? Why does that one have a license plate on? What's going on? And then we're like, and then some of our people went out and did some recon. Like, no, this is a Supernatural convention. All these women are here for that. And those women were ruthless.
Yeah.
So what you're saying,
I was gonna say they came down to our convention, and so like I heard this guy came down with his daughter, and he's like, oh, what's going on here? It's like, oh, it's a Transformer convention. We have people that do voice acting and this and that. And the dad looked a little bit interested. And then the girl was like, well, if it has nothing to do with Supernatural, I don't want to go in. And the dad kind of like, his shoulders kind of shrunk down. Okay. And he went back. I was like, oh. And like, if we knew if we knew she was going to say that and we knew our Supernatural a little bit better, we would have said, well, we do have one of the people that Venus Cherzo, who played Black Arachnia. She was on a few episodes of Supernatural.
Ooh, that would have
been way cheaper
yeah.
than the other people, because I think with those conventions you pay a pretty penny, but you're guaranteed to get autographs from them. You're guaranteed to see them at the panel, but I don't think you actually get to hang out with them. Like, they kind of stay separate because they know people can be a little bit extra, you know?
Yeah. So it sounds like fellow geeks and nerds, if you're trying to pick up, the con to be at is a Supernatural con.
But you gotta know your Supernatural. They be gatekeeping like a mogul.
I got Google in my pocket. I'm good.
If you're looking at a girl and you're like, why do you have a license plate around your neck? You just walk off.
Yeah,
because they're like, cosplaying the car.
Supernatural Google.
Because that girl is cosplaying the car.
He's not wrong.
It's hardcore.
Is there like a car that goes crazy at some point or something?
No, it's just their car.
Yeah, they drive their car.
Yeah, she's just straight up the car, but she's just a girl in a suit and just I'm the car. That's it. Like, not even box or anything. There's other people.
The car. The guy the Jensen Ackles is getting it when the show's done.
Oh,
I watched it a little bit at the beginning, but I just never stuck.
Yeah,
it's too much. It's too many seasons. Yeah. Like, if you get into it, like I got into it at after season 6 or something, because my partner is a huge fan. She traveled across Canada with one of her friends once, and the like cross Canada trip was just for fun, but the end of the trip was them going to the convention. Like, they planned it out that they were
that's really smart. That's really good.
And then when they got to Vancouver, the convention was in Vancouver. They went to the convention and then flew back home. And I was just like, oh, wow, that sounds like fun. And she's just like, yeah. And she would tell me about it all the time and talk about the show. And she was always just like, you should check it out. And I was just like, okay. So we started watching, like, we binged season 1 through 5, like, really fast. And she's just like, and then she would tell me, like, and this is where it was supposed to end. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's just like, and then when season 6 started, she's just like, and this is what the fans call, and then she explained like whatever the fans' terminology was for the fact that it just kept going.
But they kept watching, even though the fans not like it.
I mean, it's not that it's not a matter of not liking. From what I understand, the fans still love the characters enough to give it a chance and see where they're going to go with it. Even if Kripke was no longer the showrunner. And they did support it, but then in some cases, from what she's told me, some of the fans are toxic. Like, you
don't say.
Yo, dude, like, she'd tell me stories about like when women would get added to the show and when one of the characters would potentially have a love interest, the fans would get so mad. And not even in the sense of like jealousy, in the sense of they don't want the lead characters distracted from their mission. Like, they were so serious about the characters continuing the mission that they didn't like the idea that they would fall in love and not continue. And I was like, wow, that is some serious. Can you imagine us as fans watching like Captain America and hating Peggy Carter just because we know
Breaking Bad, his wife held against her will. Man is running the meth empire, and we were rooting for him. I thought he had cancer. Ain't he dead yet from cancer? No. What the hell's going on? Everyone's like, oh, his wife. I hate his wife.
Yo, listen, saying. Hey, Wendell, to be honest, I was a bitch.
Yeah, right? Okay. I can't say anything about Supernatural.
But I'm just saying. I'm just that's just the equivalent.
Yeah. Why you gonna cheat on your husband when he had cancer? What's wrong with you?
Okay, I guess here we are. I guess this is a similar.
I made this mountain of cocaine for you, honey.
Yeah.
Your womb is polluted. Jeez.
Don't bring that up, man. That's too hard for you, man.
That's hilarious. That Sky is the equivalent of a love interest in Supernatural. Oh,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it's a good. No, I see. I respect it because it's valid. Like, whenever you watch Breaking Bad and you see how much he cares about this wife, even though it was just like I know you were doing it for the wife. You said you were going to do it for her. You're just like, oh, I want to make sure that I have everything for you. But at the end of the day, you're just like, well, do you like, was it that important? Like, she didn't seem to care. It looked like she was willing to just let you die out, and it wasn't going to do nothing, you know, like, she didn't seem to love him.
You know, she didn't seem to love him.
That's it. She didn't seem to love him. I honestly, when you get to the end of the series, doesn't it seem like she didn't actually love him?
Yeah, no, 100%. Sorry, it's just I'm just laughing at how quiet it got. I think I don't know why.
I mean, if you look at it from her perspective, wasn't she like held captive by her husband because he thought she was going to snitch on him?
Fuck
She
that!
didn't know.
Dude, wasn't her brother-in-law or her brother?
Her brother's the DEA. Yeah.
Yo, I would have cut her loose the second I realized I wasn't dying of cancer, but was a multi-millionaire from the drug trade. I would have been like,
He could have handled that way differently.
dude, the money is off the books. The money was off the books.
Yeah.
Just break the marriage off. Take your stacks of bills, go live your life, and if you want, fight for the kids. But at the end of the day, don't fight for the kids because you're a drug kingpin and you're going to get them killed. So just
and to be honest, his son was a little bit of an ungrateful asshole too.
yeah.
You know what? It's tough though, right? I think he
It's
actually really
tough having a dad for a kingpin.
He did love he did love his family, and I think maybe the thought. Imagine that though, if it was you, and the thought crosses your mind after you don't die, you're not gonna die. Do you stop?
Well,
Can you stop? At that point, he was in too deep.
He was going to die though, right? He did still have cancer because didn't he leave at the end to he just had a version of like the most remission based like plot device style cancer where it's just like you know what, we gave him cancer at the beginning but we're gonna kind of just wean him off of the cancer, which is
you forgot about the cancer.
Honestly, in the later seasons you do forget because it's not really.
It's not about that anymore. He's actually now consumed by the biz, which it's a little deeper than that, man. I don't know if it's that easy to just pick up and leave with everything you've built already, you know?
I find out about it. I'm about to go to the store and not come back. I don't know.
I'm gonna go for a pack of cigarettes. I'll be back. Hold on.
Like, just leave it all. Jesse be like, listen, handle this. I'm gonna just
I would say the fact
Danielle did not let him near the drug trade ever.
I would just say if you've become a meth king, you've killed multiple people. I would say leave. I would say
leave.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, but honestly, real talk.
He's killed more than multiple people. I mean, he's selling meth.
Yeah, sure.
Why couldn't they leave? Why couldn't?
But I mean, the fact that you have a DEA as a relative.
Yeah, bad.
Yes, leave. Take the money and run.
Yeah.
But this
he already thinks you're like, lesser than him. He's already got a keen eye on you even before this whole thing. Yeah, it wasn't
him.
But it became, that's the problem, right? It became a game of ego too, right? For Walt.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because he was the underdog the whole time. You know, his wife was always on top of him. He always felt emasculated. And now he's making all this money. And now he's just like, well, I'm going to control everybody. Everyone just stay in the house.
Yes.
Stay in this house. It isn't like a game system or nothing. No, stay in the house.
It is the ultimate like power corrupt story.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a weak, like pointless teacher who used his chemistry knowledge to make the purest methamphetamine you could make on the market. Yeah. And then when he got powerful and blew up people, because doesn't he blow up a room full of people in one season? With like, call me Heisenberg, and then he blows up all the people in that biker.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think so. Yeah.
When you start doing stuff like that, you have to admit, I'm in a little deep now, guys.
Yeah. No. When you're in the desert and you're running out the trail in your underwear, that's where you're in deep. When that's when you're
like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah. What about the dude that melted in his tub?
Right?
Fell through
God.
the ceiling.
Exactly. If you're blowing up a room of people, you're feeling yourself.
That's already done. That's a done deal.
Yeah. You're doing a Harlem and shit. You're just like, yeah, you did.
I like that. We went from The Boys,
Yes.
to Supernatural,
That's
to Breaking
Aquaman.
Bad.
Oh, and we shit on Aquaman.
No, you shout out Aquaman. We just were innocent bystanders here.
Yep, you
That's
did.
collateral damage.
No, Aquaman sucks balls, bro. Like,
Yeah, there we go.
No, I like that picture of Aquaman where he's like useless, they said, worthless, they said, and he's coming up from the sea with Cthulhu. Just like that, just like the movie, just like the Aquaman movie. Occasionally called Cthulhu. He's like, yo, Cthulhu, how you doing? No one's ever asked me how I'm doing. Can you help me out? Yeah, sure. Let's roll. Let's do this.
Oh shit. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mike K just said hubris, bro. Yo, that's, you know what it is? It's true. At the end of the day, if you've read any Greek mythology or Greek like drama, and you see the hubris play out, you're just like, you understand every show like that. You'll just get it. That
Breaking
like
Bad, the long form of Scarface.
Yeah.
Long form of Scarface.
That's Jaws Z just hit on something I wanted to talk about that I forgot that I've been thinking about for weeks, and I keep thinking, do you guys, whenever you see, and funny enough, Bryan Cranston is starring in one that's coming up. There's a new series called Your Honor where he's going to be playing a judge whose son kills by accident the son of the head of a crime family. He hits him in a car. Car accident. He runs him over. And then the story's about the judge trying to protect his son. And the judge has connections. And the mob thinks that it's 100% a hit. They don't think it was by accident. So they start a gang war. So all this stuff happens. But the show's being released as a limited series. And the same way that Watchmen was a limited series and a whole bunch of these things that are coming out now. Do you think there should be a category where they just call these long form films? Like if you're going to do one season, if you're going to do a season of a show and call it a limited series and do only one run and you do 6 episodes, so it's essentially just a 3-part movie, you know, like you do 6 episodes.
I see what you're saying. It needs a catchier name, but I get exactly what you're saying because that's what it is.
Yeah,
but I mean, if you're from the UK, you're just calling it a TV show.
Like,
a
true.
series. You're not. It's nothing any different.
But the thing is, it's not limited in the UK. It's not that. I mean, you never know if the show's going to come back. That's a whole other weird thing about the UK. But this is like, it's one and done. We're not planning to make season 2 of Your Honor. This is a limited run. This is the series. Same thing with Watchmen. I mean, initially they thought Watchmen was going to get more, but this is what they turned it into. I'm just wondering. I just feel like when I look at that, I feel like the category shouldn't just be limited series, because that doesn't feel like it reflects the fact that this is essentially a long form film. You're getting multiple episodes. You're getting a film cut up into pieces. It's the same way that the guys over at Falcon and Winter Soldier, when they were doing an interview, they were saying, yeah, this season is going to be fun, but we essentially just got to film a long movie. And it's like, yeah, like I think WandaVision is going to be a long movie. I think all of this stuff is, so I don't know.
I don't know. It depends.
Yeah.
I can't think of a category, but it's just I keep thinking about it. I'm like, I feel like calling it just a limited series limits what people might think of it, because old school limited series weren't necessarily the same thing.
What would you call it then, though? Because I feel like long form film is kind of a
it's just
like if you're saying film, then like I'm thinking I have to go into a theater to watch it or something like that.
Like
stay there for a day or two.
I was gonna say short film, and I was like, oh, even short films are like one episode of a TV show.
So that's a limited TV event, like 10 Commandments.
Yeah, he's right. It is like a TV event. And 10 Commandments is a perfect example, because that wasn't a movie and that wasn't a TV show. That was this kind of in between. And now with the streamers, that's kind of what we're doing. Like it's a whole different thing.
Remember when you used to start 10 Commandments like 2 in the afternoon?
And at 10 at night, after all the damn commercials. You're still sitting there, and your parents are like, "This is important." You're like, "No, it's not. We went to church. Already went to church."
You're only watching it.
Nah, man. No, I like 10 Commandments. I always make sure to stay for the beginning because Ethiopia shows up, and that's a long walk from Ethiopia to Egypt.
Is that what happened?
That's the whole world. That's a length of the world, man. Up. Yeah, the opening is like the envoy from Ethiopia shows up.
Wow.
That's the beginning of the movie. I'm like, that's a long walk.
I don't remember the movie actually. It's been a very long. I probably haven't watched it since it was.
That
cassettes.
is the start.
Yeah, cassettes or tapes, whatever. Video tape.
Remember, it was like 12 VHS.
Yeah.
It was
Each
a
commandment.
box, a bundle of cassettes.
Yeah,
you call it cassettes, VHS tapes.
The VCR over
thing.
Out here having to put a fan on it. Damn thing.
I remember that.
The most hardcore had that set, especially store. You know your auntie had that set.
Yo. Yes.
I had the set, and we also had the rewinders. As soon as you're done one, you would put it in the separate rewinding machine.
Really?
I remember hearing that the rewinders would damage the tape a little bit because it'd be off a little bit.
The tape wears no matter how many times you how many times it spins. There's like a certain amount of spin before it starts to wear out. So yeah, when you're rewinding it so many times, it But in my house, it was always a rule: you watch something, you put it in the rewinder because the next person after you has to have it at the beginning because it's disrespectful to leave a movie at the end and then they put it in and they have to wait for it to rewind.
You pop it in and just the credits, and you're like, "Yo, wait, rewind it."
When I used to work at Videotron, I would have to be that guy that
30 minutes.
Sorry, Dave.
When I used to work at Videotron, when there was the VHSs, I literally had to open them up to see if they were rewound or not, and then have to like get them to be done. It was so annoying.
You have to.
You guys used to charge
this, and then you're just people are like, why aren't you doing any work? I have to say this, and it was one of those things where like on Friday night you had to be doing it, and it was just
God.
It caused all such bullshit.
People would get home with movies that aren't rewound and be pissed.
Yeah.
They would ask for discounts, and there was a promotion sometimes where it was like you get it for free. So it's like you're being yelled at.
Wow.
Wait.
Rewinding was a thing, guys.
VCR? Just rewind it in the VCR. It's not like it's in the middle of a scene. It's just at the end. You can wait the 3 minutes it takes for it to rewind back to the beginning.
And then bring the point of holding people's hands.
Brian. No, this needs to get out of here now. No.
My God, this is a depressing fucking world, man.
What do you mean? That was like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, but you know what, Josh? I'm going to say this. That was 20, 30 years ago, but we're still holding the hands of the people. The kids of the people who acted like that are now adults. And we're now out here having to hold their hands because their parents were weirdos who on a Friday night, instead of just letting them watch The Little Mermaid they rented, is on the phone yelling at someone saying, "Hey, this movie wasn't rewound." Meanwhile, this kid is just like, "I just want to watch the movie." But you're right, Dad. The principle of it is that it should have been rewound.
I can't yell at my boss. I might as well yell at the service person.
Yo! Now these fucking weirdos are outside in the street just yelling at people every 2 seconds, demanding things be the way they want it to be when it's just like, homie, that's not how the world works. It is 2020. The word rewind doesn't even exist. You don't have to rewind. You know what I mean? Like, God,
I remember a friend of mine.
You know what the worst drama was, though?
You can skip intro or play back to beginning now. It's crazy. You know what? I appreciate those things so much more than anyone else probably in this generation because I know how hard it was. Like we're talking about rewinding tapes right now. Like that's
remember when you used to watch a series on DVD and you would pop in and watch each episode at the damn fucking intro play for every episode of the show, and you're sitting there like skip, and then you're like, damn, went too far. Rewind a little. Then at some point
you're gonna have to watch it like 15 seconds of the intro before you start watching the show because you can't get the exact spot.
Yeah, you just give up because you're just like whatever. Sorry, Dave, you were about to say something.
No, I was just gonna say the worst part, if we're gonna talk about that a little bit, is in regards to customer service, is when you had a list of people we had to call for, like you didn't bring back the movie.
Yeah,
and they yell at you. And then when they arrive, they hand it to you, and then you open it up. You're like, "Sir, you didn't rewind this." And then you're like, "Is it yours now?" The fucking worst.
Dave,
Worst.
if I was you, I would have just charged them on the back end and just left it. Why even say it to them? At that point, you know they're going to start an argument with you.
Yeah. Just throw $5
We
on
had
it.
to.
But aren't you still going to charge them a fee?
We do charge them a fee, but then if you don't tell them, if you charge it on the back end, you know what happens? When they come to rent their new movie, now they're arguing at you because, like, I only brought $5 for my movie. Why is it $10? And you're like,
Hey, broke boy, what are you doing? Like, come on.
Dave, I'm going to tell you how this plays out. I bring in the movie. I don't rewind it after it's already late. You tell me. You don't tell me anything. Or no, you actually tell me. You tell me to my face, I'm going to be charged a fee. I leave. I come back next time and they tell me there's a fee because you didn't rewind. And I'm just going to say, no one ever told me that. You guys are lying. How are you going to prove you told this person about the fee, Dave? There's no proof.
They write it in their. Back in the day, they would just write it in the computer system.
Exactly. The computer has it. But what are you going to write? You're going to write in the computer, told client there's a fee?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say, I never heard about a fee. And what are you going to do? Are you going to?
Someone wrote it in our system that you did hear about the fee.
Dude, I let them do this.
Someone,
I hear that. I say, here's my manager.
Dave has experience in this, though.
I have experience. I work in customer service for 5 years. I work in customer service at Home Depot. I'm literally the guy that would do this. And then people would call and tell me they outright don't know what I'm talking about. And every fucking manager just gave them the discount. And I'd be like,
you know what I called clients like you? There's my manager.
Oh my God.
You know what?
I have gives them credit. They don't actually charge them.
That was the best line. Someone wrote it in our system that you hold.
Like, no, man, I have it in my ledger. You owe me, man.
That's such a deniable.
No, my favorite one that I heard was a friend of mine was doing finance, I think. So that, like, she'll call up people to get the money back or whatever, and the people would always argue, "Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I never said that." Da, da, da. And they're like, "Are you sure?" And they're like, "Yeah, I didn't say that." And then they're like, "Well, remember when you signed up for this? We said we're going to record just in case." And then they played a recording for them. And the person's like, yeah, I know. Gimme. Yeah. I know all the I know, gimme. And it's like, they played a tape for them. Like, that's your voice. That's you talking.
Dude, I again, because I work customer service, I totally took advantage of that stuff. I remember one time I got the guy at Fido so mad that I cornered him into calling me a liar on the recording. So that when they transferred me to the manager, I said, "Your employee just called me a liar. I want a discount." And the manager was just like, "I'm sure there's a misunderstanding." I was just like, "If you want to listen back to the audio, you can, because as I know, it's recorded." And the guy was just like, "No, it's okay, sir. What exactly did you want?" And I listed everything I wanted in my contract, and he said, "No problem."
Honestly,
No behavior.
That shit is the closest to black people getting reparations when you fuck somebody up on the phone.
Oh my God.
Holy shit, that feels dope. Doesn't it? Tell me that doesn't feel dope. I found that it feels great. What?
I'm usually pretty nice and I kind of get what I want. I'm like, look, I'm patient. I'm not gonna yell at you. That's not gonna make you go faster. It doesn't make me go faster in life.
No, it's not yelling.
Raise your voice. Never raise your voice.
I'm Jedi mind tricking them into giving you a voice.
I would rather have a woman do that. Just like, here you go. I'm unreasonable. Okay, here's a woman. Here, the woman's gonna argue with you. I'm gonna walk away, and yay, I get everything I wanted. Thank you so much. That Produce O'Neill bit. It's like, look, man, I'm trying to be the good copy. I don't want to give my girl. I don't want to hand over my girl to argue with you right now.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. I'm very patient in the sense that, like, I know what it feels like because I work in customer service too. I know it's rarely ever the agent's fault. It's the company's policies, but there is a certain way to push that can get you what you want because I know how far you can push.
Yeah.
But when you start getting mad, yelling, and like going crazy, I'm like, this doesn't help anybody. I always hated that.
I was calm as hell.
Oh, I'm
And
sure
this-
you were. I'm sure you were.
And this guy,
Did someone call you a liar?
and then at one point, the guy says, to me, if you work in customer service like you say you do, then you would understand. And I was just like, but I do work in customer service. Yes, like I said, if you say you do, I'm like, are you implying that I do not work in customer service? And he's just like, no. I'm just like, well, you just said if 2 times, and I'm telling you I do. So I would like you to not say here.
So I would have hung up on you.
And then he said it again. And that's when I was just like, at this point, Marcus, I think it's time I speak to your manager. And then
and then Marcus said, "Sir, I have your address here in front of me. I will be at your house."
You come and find out.
He was putting in bags while also writing down your name, bro.
I would love Marcus to come to my house and find out what happened.
Oh boy. That's where Brian goes. I started off nice like Brian, and then I eventually
into a blade real quick. Sorry.
Wow. That went wow.
I'm telling you, Billy.
You know, zombie apocalypse Brian, where he's going.
Or actually, it's the way you said that. That's more like Billy the Butcher.
I would like to point out in the
chop somebody
scenario
up.
that Toby is painting, a man shows up at my house. I'm not crazy for defending myself. Whoa,
Sir. Sir, I have before this job, I had a specific set of skills. I also have your address. It made it a lot easier. Bing bong. Who's that? I'm right here, sir. I'm already there, sir. Wait, where are you coming from?
He has a new trailer out, Honest Thief. Liam Neeson. He has a new movie out. And yo, my first thought when I saw the trailer is he better not kill a single black person in that movie because I will stomp his ass if he kills a black person. After you released the last movie out here telling people how you went hunting for black people, you think we're gonna forget that shit?
That was he should never revealed that, unfortunately. I get what he's trying to do, but just be like, hey, like I was an idiot, I was ignorant, but you know, people are gonna take it badly when you
Man, it's crazy.
Oh my god, yo, Jaws, that was brilliant.
Sidebar question. Real sidebar question, because I watched Black Klansman the other day. You think all the white people that star in Spike Lee movies have to go through a personal cleansing after saying nigga?
Yes.
Because like
Topher Grace. If you look up interview with Topher Grace, he said, "Yeah, I had to."
Yeah.
Wow.
He was like, his wife was like, honey, I know you're practicing for the movie, but can you tone it down a bit? And he's like, yeah.
I gotta hit those R's. Gotta hit those R's.
Spike Lee just messing up people in his movies.
Yeah, because I imagine Spike isn't going to be like, listen, I don't want some cookie cutter shit. Like, I want the real, I want to see the hate in your eye.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like transforming yourself. Like when Homeboy did the Joker role, you just get into it. Just too much. I don't know.
Oh, and Jack Nicholson said, I warned him.
It's
like, what? What do you mean you warned him? What do you mean? Can you say a little something about Heath Ledger? I warned him. Just keep walking.
Yo, but mentioning Topher Grace, that's a perfect transition real quick. Spider-Man.
Woo!
Let's talk about it. You guys saw the artwork for this episode.
Didn't we call this?
Yes, exactly. That's what
a lot of people did.
When Into the Spider-Verse came out, we were all like, why didn't they include Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield?
A lot of them. I think a lot of people were saying that. But I think
you called the whole Doctor Strange doing the whole thing.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
That.
From the jump, we said the only thing we all said it on this show that Doctor Strange would have to come in and fix things. And we were just like, but okay, so my 2 cents, guys.
2 cents.
My 2 cents. I don't want this. I don't want Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. And when they announced Jamie Foxx showing up, I was worried this was the direction we were going in. And at first, I was like, I'm okay with Jamie Foxx as long as we don't add everybody else. But then this is still rumors, but then the rumors started being that they want to throw in Andrew, Toby, they want to possibly get Gwen Stacy to pop in. I don't want this. I don't
They'll
know.
pop in like
If we're talking about a multiverse, they're gonna have to show up here and there, but I don't think they'll be the focal point of the movie.
I don't even think they'll talk.
To be quite honest, it might be a Flashpoint situation where they kind of just they're going through different worlds quickly and they're seeing those characters. It's possible.
You might even see their faces as their world's destroyed, like, oh, and then that's it.
Okay.
Infinite Crisis stuff.
If that's the case, I'm okay with it. But I don't think you would get the fans hyped up to watch Andrew Garfield die and his world destroyed. You're not bringing him back.
It's clearly Into the Spider-Verse too. I mean, let's be honest.
I feel like this is just an easier way to get both Jonah Jamesons on screen at the same time. Money. Money. You got J. Jonah Jameson with the bald head in the MCU, and you got J. Jonah Jameson with the high top, and boom, money.
I don't know.
Just an excuse for that.
I've been seeing everyone talking about it. Everyone's excited at the idea. Give them a chance, all that stuff. And I don't want, like, if you guys are right.
Why are you so against it?
Because I feel like the whole point of what the MCU has been doing and what they've been giving us and what we've been really excited for so long was the idea of them doing Spider-Man and all the other characters in one universe. And that's what we wanted. They didn't do it with Toby. They didn't do it with Andrew. They're doing it with Tom Holland. Let Tom Holland do his thing and continue. Don't link him to universes that weren't connected or weren't going to work. Sony was never going to be able to do everything the way that the fans actually wanted. So at this point, Sony and Marvel already have the deal. We've already been scared once when the deal might not work and they pulled him from the universe and kids were crying in the corner. But now we know it's back. It's done. Those two guys are remnants of a universe of failed universes that I just don't want to see anymore.
Can I say what this is though?
A money grab?
No. Into the Spider-Verse was a testing ground to see if people would accept this. In animated form, but the idea of multiple Spider-Man on the screen. And I think they're actually going to pull off a sort of Into the Spider-Verse storyline here.
I say all the other worlds are destroyed. Electro gets through by being just electricity. He ends up in our world. That's what I said.
I think it's gonna be a bit more between Skinny and what Toby said.
Okay. I'm just saying. Sorry, hit us, Jaws.
I remember I was watching a video and they were talking about the whole Sony and Marvel and stuff like that. And I think something that they pointed out is that it still has a lot of everyone that Spider-Man interacts with in the MCU aren't necessarily still in his MCU movies. They're not a part of the MCU, or they're not the actual people that are a part of the MCU. So Far From Home, like Tony Stark is still there. And then, Homecoming, Tony Stark is there. So that's the link. Then in Far From Home, Tony Stark has passed away.
Yeah.
Everyone from S.H.I.E.L.D. aren't the actual people from S.H.I.E.L.D. They're all Skrulls.
Yeah.
And the only time Spider-Man ever interacts with anybody but doesn't really make a connection with anybody is the Avengers movies. Or what was the other one?
Did you have Happy in all the movies that he was in?
Happy's there, but it's like that's the only other person except was it Civil War? And he gets that like little link with Captain America, but doesn't, they're like, oh, we're both from New York, and then they don't follow up with that. So that could be why they're bringing in all the other Sony people into this movie, because Sony still probably definitely has a hand in it. The other people that produce this movie, the other production houses are Columbia Pictures, which is a subsidiary of Sony, and Pascal Pictures, which is Amy Pascal, who was the head of Sony at the time for a while back. Yeah. So, I mean, it's still... So I think that's why it's kind of playing into the way it is.
I'm just,
on the back end.
I think there's a lot of deals being had. I'm sorry, we're laughing a little bit. If you guys are listening to this on the podcast, one of our viewers has decided to ask Toby what he's eating. So it just kind of turned into a
Yeah.
him showing food on his camera.
I can do that.
It was like the time he was working out under the table, and we just kept hearing a sound. But yeah, no,
I thought my mic was muted. You guys can hear me too.
yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Amy, I think that a lot of deals and the whole thing with Sony and Marvel is interesting. It's a tightrope. It was needed at the time to save Marvel when they sold the rights to Spider-Man. I think a lot of people know, we've discussed it on the show, the value of Spider-Man. If I think, what was it? If Marvel could get the rights back to Spider-Man into their officially, it boosts their value by $4 billion or some crazy number. So just Spider-Man alone is a huge increase. And I think what they're doing with Spider-Man now and the separation and Marvel kind of putting their hook in even more is good. And I feel like anytime you give Sony that headway by letting them touch it with some of the things they did, that it's going to end up hindering. And on top of that, the other thing, if all the rumors start being true, this is going to be a cluster of a movie. Because if you're going to have the Sinister Six, like everyone's hoping, and you're going to have, you can't have
still hoping about that. My goodness.
Yeah, you can't have. You're talking already about 9 people in the cast just off of the Sinister
Guys,
yeah,
that's fine. Infinity War is proof you can have all that.
Yeah, but in all in one movie,
you built to that.
That was 2 movies.
They built to this.
But those
They
two were
built
2
to
movies.
this. Dude, all the Spider-Man movie of the past, the last 2 Spider-Man movies we just got, dude,
Yeah.
of course.
Like they barely get like we didn't even get Scorpion in this universe, in any of those
The
universes.
villains from the other movies and stuff.
Say what,
Yeah.
Dave? Sorry?
The villains and the characters that you're grabbing at are characters that are already established. So this is just like a mini version of Avengers.
How are they established? They haven't been on screen for years. They're from universes that no one cared about.
But they're established in those universes.
It's for
we did care about them because we all
good for general.
No.
and we all went to see those movies in theaters. Then it was relevant.
Yeah.
The story's still, the characters are still relevant.
We didn't know much.
Tom Holland is not our Spider-Man. He's a younger generation Spider-Man. This is a money grab for Sony so they can get people to go back and watch the old movies to reestablish all these characters to get that money.
Maybe, but I'm not opposed to this one because I love Spider-Man so much. So give me as many as you want.
I think everyone loves Spider-Man so much. When they rebooted it for the 3rd time with Tom Holland, they don't even say with great power comes great responsibility anymore. We just know. We just straight up know. Every Batman movie, we got to kill his parents. We got to kill him good. We got to see that hammer. It's got to hit that pearl real good and smash it. Like
Spider-Man was the first one of those big movies that actually deviated from that, which I enjoyed very much this time around. So I think they're all hopefully going to come around to doing it that way too. Yeah, Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Have they announced the director yet for the 3rd one?
I would assume it's the same guy, no?
Yeah, because it's the same guy who did the first 2, right?
Yeah,
right.
I would assume it's the same dude.
Okay, they're not doing any of that shit.
What do you mean? They're not doing any of what? The Spider-Man?
Why would they do Sinister Six?
Listen, all y'all just got faked out. They're not doing any of that shit. Okay? They're going to grab Electro. They're going to do Multiverse of Madness because that happens right after this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to grab Electro. They have no other fucking villains to grab. Dr. Octopus is dead. Green Goblin is dead. Who else are they going to grab? Vulture, Scorpion, who hasn't even gotten a suit yet. What Sinister Six? They're not.
Keep going.
They're not doing any of that shit. Cut that. Bomb. All right, cool. They will bring in
Electro.
They will bring in Andrew Garfield and Gwen Stacy to kind of flash show that. And as Electro's passing through the multiverse, that's when they're going to show them. And that's the end of that. That's it. That is.
You think it's just at the end? Yeah,
not in the end. Just bringing in Electro. Yeah, we say but obviously we said not to before. They've legit done. I
think it'll be more than just a flash intro. It'll be more of substantial than that. Otherwise, they would have kept it a secret.
Because Marvel's never done that
rumor. We don't even know that this is fact. This is all rumor.
Electro's not a rumor.
Sorry. I thought you were sorry. Yes. I thought you were talking about crew showing up.
The only person I'm happy with about the Electro news is that oboe player for his intro. He's gonna get some mad stats. That oboe player. Boop, 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 boop.
They can't. Sorry to reply to Michael, who just said they're going to grab multiverse versions of the dead ones. They can't. They won't. They will not waste that real estate on bringing back dead characters for Spider-Man when they're going to have to use them down the line anyways. They will not blow their load on Sinister Six just for that. Absolutely. Yeah. You might get a possible future or a multiverse version where Spider-Man will see that Sinister Six for like 30 seconds, and then that's it. They're not going to blow their load. They're not. Like, no. Absolutely.
Okay. So in the universe that we know Tom Holland to be in, we know there's Vulture, and we know Vulture has a couple villains in with him in prison that he's actually spoken to at the Shocker for one.
Who actually shot someone, but Scorpion, who hasn't done shit yet. Scorpion,
but still, they're there. But they're there.
You're not Scorpion
until established.
Like you're Matt.
And now on top of that, Vulture already hold on. Vulture already knew who Spider-Man was before J. Jonah Jameson gave it to the world. Right? Remember that? So now that the secret's out to the world, Vulture's been recruiting this whole time in prison. I'm telling you, Sinister Six is a possibility in third Spider-Man. They've been building to this.
Vulture hesitated to give it to Scorpion. He hesitated.
Yeah, he did it because he knew Spider-Man was like a good kid. He didn't want to do that. He was like, this dude's trying to
now that the rest of the world is after him, there's opportunity here.
I don't know. Okay. I feel like the Vulture in this universe was a guy trying to like do right by his family, like Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
like Breaking Bad.
Way to bring it back.
And he ended up getting caught. He ended up getting caught, and he's like, you know what? I did wrong. I'm gonna pay my price. Yeah. And I was messing with this little kid. I was saying I'm gonna kill this little kid at a stop sign. At a stoplight.
Like he realizes that he shouldn't have gone that far with what he was doing to Spider-Man. And so I think
he was okay with paying his penance, which is great.
Yeah. I think, you know what? I think I get what you guys are saying in the sense that all the characters are there. I just think that like what you guys consider established and what I'm considering established are two different things. I don't like the idea that just because someone is there, to jump from someone being there to someone having a suit and being a supervillain to Spider-Man feels like it needs progression. Vulture's story had progression as to, yes, he had the suit early on, but there was a whole, like, they kind of quickly gunned through all the stages that explain why he had the suit, what he was doing, working with Tinkerer, had a team, Shocker, all that early.
But if you're going to same with Electro was also connected in a way to Tony Stark, and which made him connected to Spider-Man. So who's to say that the rest of the villains don't have the same kind of connection that you can see through quickly?
That in a 2-hour movie.
Of course you can. Okay, we're talking established here. I'm not talking like they have their full
and how they get their suits. That's what I'm talking about. How do you do 4 villains
Stark Tech
and their hate? So, okay, so you're
Tinker is already there.
We're just throwing in MacGuffins. We're gonna skip.
No, we're not throwing in MacGuffins.
Do you think they're going to talk about the Baxter Tower?
Yes,
I hope.
Do you think something's going to happen with that? Where like, oh, we're testing out stuff here, and then all of a sudden,
Dark Tower.
That's the same thing as the Is it Damage Control in Marvel? I don't remember which one's Damage Control.
I think
Damage Control or Wrecking Crew. I think it's Damage Control.
Control.
So you've already done Damage Control to explain the tech for Vulture, but again, you establish a proper story for Vulture. To get Vulture and Shocker, it took one whole movie to develop those characters properly. And
and Shocker was played by two people.
Didn't take a whole movie. He was played by two
people.
Shocker is like a name you just hand off to somebody else.
Yeah,
this guy got wrecked. All right, here, you're Shocker now. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's definitely established. I think we're gonna get a third Shocker in the next one.
Right?
Yeah, I already called that.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, unless you want to use Venom, who's established, unless you want to use Morbius, whose movie hopefully comes out at some point. I don't know what's going on with that. But unless you're going to use the guys that you've kind of given us movies, and then Scorpion is added and Kraven maybe, I'm okay. But if you're talking about putting Kraven, Scorpion, and Rhino or Doc Ock, any other than the ones who have kind of been introduced, I don't see you doing a 2-hour movie, giving us a proper character development, introducing those characters, introducing.
But yo, what we're going at is at a clip that we're assuming this whole Spider-Man thing is only a trilogy. It could be a part 4. Nothing is stopping us at 3.
Yeah, but you're not going to split Sinister Six into a 2-part like Infinity War.
Why the not?
Oh,
Sinister 1 and then the second part is Spider-Man. And then what do you mean? Of course you can.
You can do it. You can do it, but I'll tell you right now, the fans won't respect it.
I would.
You worked up to Infinity War and Endgame for 10 years, and then you're going to give Spider-Man a 2-movie Sinister Six storyline 2 days later?
He's deserved it for like 20 years.
But here's the thing. We've had previous Spider-Man movies. This Spider-Man that we know, we've seen him many times, not just in his own movie. So technically, that every single time we've seen him is added on and built onto his mystique, into his story. So he is at a point now where his world has gone to shit. Everything's falling apart. Everyone knows who he is. He has no choice but to fend for himself. This is the perfect time to give him that big, huge arc.
Yeah.
You know what? One villain I want to see. One villain I want to see in this movie is what is it? No, is Peter Parker's landlord from Spider-Man 2. You have the rent. If they were making it for the fans, that guy would come back.
You know what's crazy?
The deep meme cut in there.
Is that guy was actually willing. If Spider-Man dated his daughter, he would never have to pay rent.
Yeah, you
remember
Yeah,
you have the rent.
Listen, man, Mike agrees with me, man. Mike thinks I'm right. I genuinely think they can do this. I think this is the right time to give Spider-Man that huge, like, blockbuster, like, bang party. It's huge.
I don't know. I think you've built with Spider-Man. You've built with the Sony side. If MCU really wants to do some world expansion, giving Spider-Man his big story now would be like when they write in the comic book universe, they do the Spider-Verse crossover at the same time that they're doing all the regular Avengers crossovers. Like it's you have too many things going on. I think that's too many things going on. You could split it all into 2 movies, by all means. I just don't think you're going to get as good a movie or as good a story if you start doing that stuff. I really don't.
So here's another like
6 movies separate. That's my thing. I would prefer to get a Sinister Six movie separate where you build these guys at least in one movie, then give me the Spider-Man crossover.
Can I say something real quick? I think we already got the Sinister Six movie.
Which one?
The animated one.
That
the Miles Morales animated one.
Technically, that's very true. That's why I was thinking this is sort of like a live action version of it with different
Scorpion, Prowler, Doc Ock.
It's gonna
I will give
you 2 more to go.
If they cross over the Into the Spider-Verse with the real universe somehow,
that's a possibility.
Without
multiverse.
I know. Don't get me wrong. I get that. I'm just saying the demo that saw the animated movie versus the demo that sees the live action doesn't have the biggest crossover. The animated movie did super well for an animated movie, but if you compared it to live action movies, it did not do as well because animated movies are not taken as serious. So if you want to start to build the Spider-Man universe off the back of your animated film, that to me seems like a weird decision. But if they can figure out a good way to do it, I'll be there for it. Because you're right. They have established a lot in that film.
Yes.
Let's also please, like, I don't know how you guys are going by it, but we can't just take 6 Spider-Man villains, throw them together, and call it the Sinister Six. It doesn't work like that.
No, of course. We talked about this last week. I wish you were
here. Y'all have been doing that. Like, y'all were like, here's Prowler, and here's no.
I don't know.
I wonder which villain is just like, yo, we should call ourselves the Sinister Six, and some guy just smacks him in the back and shut up. We're gonna put labels on everything.
They'll poke fun at it. They'll poke fun at it for sure.
Millennials don't like labels.
Put a name on it, and then they can find you. You idiot! Stop that.
Oh man, I'm psyched for this if that's the case. And let's not forget, this is a world where Prowler exists already, meaning Miles is somewhere in here.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Donald Glover. Donald Glover's basically the Prowler.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Not really.
No, he is.
He didn't get the tech.
He didn't
So-
get the tech, but
He didn't get
that's
the
the
tech yet,
character.
but
That
Miles
he's
is- yeah.
character name wise, that's his uncle.
And he
Yes.
also said in a deleted scene that didn't make the movie, my nephew lives nearby. That's why I'm
We're
here.
not allowed to consider deleted scenes.
Yeah, yeah. There's a rule on that.
Deleted
Boo! Ghostface
These are
Kills
not-
a part of the MCU.
scenes don't count as canon. Deleted scenes don't count as canon. We're not.
Yeah,
I'm just
You
saying.
have a show called That's Canon, and you're fucking that up. How'd you do that? Fuck, man.
I
Jeez.
like it.
Lit him up.
Abide by your damn title.
I would appreciate it if that was the case in this universe. Then we get another Spider-Man at some point in this damn universe. Just bring them all in. Throw them all in there.
Do you want?
I'm 8. Into the Spider-Verse had like 7 or 8.
Yeah, they
So-
did. It's like, oh, you want villains? Oh, we got Spider-Man. We got tons of Spider-Man. Spider-Man here, Spider-Man there. How much Spider-Man? Yo, we got
Spider-Man Noir.
Spider-Pig. Give you a Spider-Pig.
Spider Ham, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my
Spider-Man.
God.
Hey,
If
remember
they-
that joke from The Simpsons? He's a real character in Spira Couchon.
Man, if they introduce Spider-Ham, and like that's one of the things that I feel like you can't, because of the animated movie having things like Spider-Ham, you can't connect it to the real universe. Man.
Look, Brian,
Yeah, but
Brian, there's nothing to worry about. It's just going to be Into the Spider-Verse, Sinister Six, and all the other previous movies all into one. It's not going to be a clusterfuck at all. Don't worry about it.
Any
Hey,
more
we
reason?
didn't know how they were when we heard about like Infinity War and Endgame and all these things. We didn't like know how they were gonna pull off. I remember one of our questions was like, "Man, there's so many heroes and villains. How are they gonna pull this off? How are they gonna make this scene like in 2 movies?" So that's what I'm talking about here. 2 movies, they've proven they can do it.
Well, they being the Russo brothers, who also directed Civil War and who also did Winter Soldier, so they proved themselves.
Thank
Yeah.
How about the Spider-Man guy?
He has though. Come on.
Spider-Man
he
guy has not done multi-tier movies. That's what you're saying. He's not
And that's
like
the problem. They have to fix that.
you guys are trusting the entire future of the Spider-Man franchise. Again, you know what? I'll do this quick comparison. Did you ever think you could fuck up Batman back in the day? Batman, the biggest character ever you could have. Batman.
Yeah,
Could
of course you could fuck up Batman by casting George Clooney.
Oh,
you
fuck.
say that now, Dave? but in the 80s, no one would have ever thought you could fuck up Batman. You're talking about one of the biggest properties that's ever existed in DC. And then they fucked it up. I'm saying you got to be careful with the things you do. And I think if you try to overextend Spider-Man, you could. Dude, Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire
But
was
I thought they
risky
overextended
fucking
Spider-Man. Like this is on their
Yeah, but
third
let's
run
make,
now.
you can't. That was horrible writing.
Yes, it could be horrible writing because you
No,
rushed
Spider-Man 3 was a shit show because it was garbage from the get-go. Like everything about it sucked. That's not a good comparison.
How is it not a good comparison? You have one of the
Because
hottest.
Marvel's not going to do that. Type
Marvel,
of stuff.
come on, Brian. I can't believe we're having this
Like-
conversation. You can't
guys-
expect them to fuck
Hear
this
him
up
out,
at this
hear him
point.
out. I'm with Brian. Hear him out. Let's go. Brian.
If you're gonna have, there's a difference between Sony. By the way, I would like to remind everybody, Spider-Man is a Sony property.
Mhm.
Sony that made that Venom movie that's pretty cool, but not great. Sony that made that third Spider-Man movie. Sony that has been making the Spider-Man movies all along. Just because they got the cool friends to come in and help them write doesn't mean that they know everything and can do it better. It just means
Listen.
they have good people working with them now. But good people can still fuck up shit. That's all I'm saying.
And you're expecting a fuck up.
Sony's looking at you with Spider-Man 1 going, we started this Marvel shit. And this is the motherfucker thanks I get?
For real. For real. You know?
I feel like Blade started this gangster shit. And he's the one that-
Blade started it, but
Yeah.
like like Spider-Man took it to a whole nother level because you can't take kids to go see Blade, and you can't take kids when Blade's gonna like grab a hole and put his arm socket back. They're not gonna go like jump. You can't market Blade to kids, man.
Yo, I just watched Blade again recently, and man, does the CGI not hold up at all.
I still like the movie. I think I still like the martial arts in it and stuff like that. I still really enjoy the fighting. I feel, to me, like Blade still feels like almost a blaxploitation.
Yeah,
like it's weird because there's a part where he goes to pick up some supplies from some black dude, and he gives him some kind of like Wakanda, like, yo, what's up, brother? That I'm like, that's random. Never bring that up.
Blade was always a vampire version of Shaft.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Blade is Shaft with Dave Vamp powers. That's it. That's what it is. He's a cool mother. Shut you up. And put your head off.
I got it now.
I'm expecting to hit this out of the park. By the way,
come and get some Blade cereal called Suckheads.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god!
There was actually, I remember that scene. Him telling, "You tell the rest of those suckheads, I'm coming for them." That scene, yeah.
It's open season on all suckheads.
Yeah, it's open season on all suckheads. That's the line.
Yo, okay, so Mike just posted up Sony movies are whack. I'm not gonna go as far as saying they're whack.
I don't think
they don't make as good a movie as Marvel.
They don't.
Even
they
Spider-Man
did it in the past.
Spider-Man 2, just throwing that out the window. Okay.
Sony did a good job with the first two Spider-Man, and you know what? The first Amazing Spider-Man wasn't that bad either.
Isn't the animated Spider-Man movie Sony animated?
Yes, of course.
Sony animated is different because Sony animated is like DCAU. We know DCAU could make shit, but Warner Brothers over there fucking shit up like a bunch of morons. So we know the difference. There's a big difference.
But that's still underneath the umbrella of Sony, though.
Yeah, again, Venom's not that bad. Sorry, Joss, can you repeat what you said?
I said it's still underneath the banner of Sony.
Yeah.
For good or worse, for better or worse.
Yes, I agree that Venom is a decent film. But
it was fun.
Toby, I'll hit you with this. You and I have both agreed Upgrade is a better Venom. We've said that on this show. Yes. So you have to admit there is better out there, and Sony
isn't it the same actor too, though?
No.
I know. I'm kidding. That's a joke. But they look alike.
You got to see where the bar, Brian. You got to see where the bar's set to know how to be better than it, though.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, I'm trying to remember. Upgrade came out later, right? It came out later.
Yeah,
right?
Upgrade came out
first. And plus, if you have less budget, then it gives you more leeway to like be more creative or whatever you have to do.
Yeah, that movie was under the fucking radar and is such a good movie.
Yo, no, but they both came out at the same time though, like same year.
Oh. So it's one of those like Dante's Peaks and Volcano kind of things.
The Upgrade came out first. Yeah, well, sure. Upgrade came out in June.
Came out first, okay.
And Venom came out in October, but they were probably produced and made around the same time.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That's interesting.
It's weird. It's weird how that works.
That's the double movie of that year.
Yeah. Armageddon and Deep Impact of that year.
Similar storyline. Actors look pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. You don't think Logan Marshall Green looks like Tom Hardy?
Oh, I agree with you.
Wendell didn't look like he agreed for a second.
I know, because I'm thinking like, okay, Tom Hardy, and then I'm thinking like the guy from Prometheus.
What?
Kind of, yes. Isn't that the same dude from Prometheus?
No.
Upgrade?
Logan Marshall Green, man.
No,
that's not. He's not from Prometheus.
Is Prometheus the one with Michael Fassbender?
Yeah, he's thinking Fassbender.
It's the first one. No, I'm saying one of the scientists that gets killed, that Fassbender kills.
Oh, maybe.
He's being a dick to Michael Fassbender's character, and then Fassbender takes the goop and he puts it in his drink, and it's like, yeah, go drink up. Jerk.
Yes. Yeah, but see, you're thinking of him in this like clean cut, shaved, whatever look he had for that role. He was kind of like bald in that role too, right? But when they have their facial hair, they look the same. Trust me, it's pretty close. It's on the internet somewhere. Just look it up.
Yeah.
So we we had definitely one of the best conversations, but we went on a hell of a lot of tangents and never touched any of the stuff we were supposed to.
But we went from the boys to Spider-Man. Judging to Spider-Man.
That's how we roll.
That segment was perfect because we mentioned Tobey Maguire through Black Klansman, Spike. Like, dude, when you trace back the tree that led us to these conversations, that is some fucking gold. Like,
it's a rabbit hole, I'll tell you.
It is that
It's
like
true. It's true.
yeah, like listening to
they're all connected in some way because we have Topher Grace as Venom and Spider-Man.
No,
Yep.
I'm telling you, watching the thread of this conversation, facts. Sorry, Skate.
I'll ask a question that's more or less from Danny's book because I never actually thought of it that way. So, like, you see how the boys had a big racial topic this season, and then we saw that in Watchmen, and then we saw that in something else, and then we see it in Lovecraft, and we see it in here and there, and whatever.
Easy. Yeah.
Now, she says, because I think it's all social commentary. That's what I would think because that's me. I'm the dark guy on this side, so I'm gonna think social commentary. She thinks, she's like, you ever think it's to cater to the other people?
Cater to the other, like to cater to us?
No, to them. Including all the racism, including all the niggers, including all that. Yeah, Dave.
So like how the movie Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is not really for black people, it's more for the white people to be like, hey, everyone's pretty normal.
All the racist people get to live out their fantasies of like Aya Cash playing a Nazi storm.
It's kind of like the best of both worlds, where you'll get the people who be like, "Yeah, social commentary, this is wrong," but then you get the people being like, "Yeah, that's pretty kind of fucking dope because I'm racist." You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what's great about it is,
no, because I'm racist.
It brings people together in the worst way possible.
But
I don't know, man. Exactly.
Not my question.
I get it, but at the end we get to kill them. Like,
well, that's the only unfortunate side is that they always lose.
Exactly. Which doesn't inspire anybody.
On HBO, and that didn't fly over well. Remember when they tried to do that show where the Confederacy they won the war? Do it from this angle, and everyone
shut that down real quick.
Everyone's just like, yo, what is wrong with your boys over at Game of Thrones? Like, people are just like, what is going on? You guys flop the finale of the series and then turn around, and the first project you want to do is, what if black people were still slaves?
Yeah. And then Watchmen came out, in which black people weren't slaves, but
not a racist.
Aftermath.
What is that other show? What was that other show? Was it High Castle, Man in the High Tower? At least, even in, I think, the final season, it's like, oh, people come in from a parallel universe where the Allies won and defeat the Nazis. Like, that was where the show was going the whole time. In the name of... Wait, what? That's really not where you're going with that?
If you want to take racism and you want to show it looking cool for those people, and then at the end, we get to stomp you down like the racist dogs you are, I'm for it. If I get to watch Starlight, Kimiko, and Maeve stomp the shit out of Storm, and her scaredy cat bullshit ass has to run away like the bitch Nazis are, and then on top of that, get murked by this little kid, I'm for it. May we kill every last one of them.
R.I.P. his mom, though. The moment that happened, I was like, I already know he's gonna not be able to control it, and something's gonna happen.
So I feel like it was more of, I think it was like an upgrade of Homelander's power, where it wasn't so much lasers, but it was like a laser solar flare.
Like a police, like a beam, like
right?
Cyclops.
Cyclops takes his shit off.
Yeah, exactly. But that's because he can't control it.
He was doing it. I don't know how he cut up what's her name like that. He burned her, cut off her leg, went up, cut off her other arm, and just left her like burnt. And then her mommy just the neck.
Yeah, he hit the mom.
Yeah, but see, that's why it's not a blast. I think it was literally 2 lasers, and he's moving his head.
Oh shit!
Right, and probably that's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah, and then he and then he accidentally, because his mom's throat was sliced, right?
Yeah.
So he accidentally went through like straight through. I think. Yeah,
that's rough, man.
That's rough. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And what sucks about it is the only person that lost in all of this was Butcher. on all sides. He lost in everything.
He did.
Well, they did that to make it so that he's angry for the next season.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just Butcher and Homelander are two sides of the same coin. Yeah, they really are.
I don't know.
They really are. Like they're just both angry, insane white boys to the point where Edgar had to say, I don't have the chance to be an angry. That's a white boy thing.
I don't. Yeah.
Edgar.
That's
No,
how I felt like in high
he said,
school.
I don't have, in my position, I don't have the privilege of being angry. That's more reserved. That's more reserved for entitled rich white men like you or something.
Exactly. You know what? If on the scale of things I love and scale of things I hate, Harmon, hate. Esposito, love. That's how balanced this is. That's how I would balance this world.
How are they even? How are they?
I'm just looking at Dave, just like, oh god.
It's like how did Dan Harmon cut into this conversation? He just somehow squeezes into this. He's like, you know, when your toothpaste is finished and you're like, there's no more in the tube, and you squeeze it, and he's just that little last bit of toothpaste left at the bottom of the tube.
I gotta brush these teeth, baby. I'll find that. I'll just cut open if I have to put the brush in. Don't worry.
Just cut open the bottle. Jeez, stop hurting yourself.
No, at that point, you need to give it up. I seen that. That's fucked up. Don't do that.
No, wait, hold on. We are going into this conversation right now.
Yes, we are.
You have lotion and you don't want to cut the end when there's get all the lotion out of the bottle. I paid for it.
I cut it sometimes. Dude, there's a bunch of lotion on the walls, bro. On the walls.
I will do this. I'll take some water. I'll put it in the bottle. I'll do a little of this.
Water?
Wait, what?
Not in the lotion.
So y'all are gonna cut up a plastic bottle and dip it in there, but I'm crazy for adding water and shaking.
This is
What are you adding the water to? What are you adding water to?
That's
the
what I'm saying.
bottle of the lotion.
Dude, it's an oily solution. It's an oily solution.
It's an oily solution where there's cream stuck all around the bottle, so you gotta shake it to get it all concentrated into one spot.
Just cut the bottle
and put it
in the bottle.
Because you're leaving food on the table, man.
Oh my god.
What is the
Personally, I feel ideally for lotion bottles, you don't want to pump. You just want the snap open. That you can crack open the top, so you can just get your finger in there and get it out. And just leave it upside down.
And then there's
that's the better bottle.
Here?
The engineering of bottles.
Oh man.
The fucking rabbit hole of this conversation is ridiculous.
So wait, Brian, are you the type of person that pulls up the toothpaste all the way to the point and then starts squeezing underneath to get that last bit of toothpaste out?
I'm the guy who owns that thing that you put the toothpaste in and it turns and tightens to get every drop of toothpaste.
Yeah.
I paid for it.
At that point, just buy a new fucking toothpaste.
No, bro. Why?
At that point, just go to the hardware store and get a clamp.
That's what he's saying. They literally
money
make a clamp for that purpose.
Dude, you use a butterfly clip. You know those clips, the butterfly clips? You push that, suck it out, baby. You get every last bit.
This guy said put water in the bottle. Bro.
Yeah,
He's not saying fill up the whole bottle. He's just saying put a little bit of water in there. He's not saying fill up the whole damn thing. Jeez, y'all mean.
This episode is off the rails. I love it.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
Thank you. We got Mike K over here who's saying I cut some bottles in my day. Shout out to Mike.
Nah. We're doing this. You see, you took that off, right?
There you go. You leave it upside down, let the gravity do the work. Come down.
Now I just
For
ruined
those
the bottle.
of you listening to the podcast, Skinny went and physically got a lotion bottle.
That's how it works.
Listen, We know you can twist off the top. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
But it's a small hole. You can't reach in there when there's lotion just literally stick to the wall. If you cut that open, is it done?
No.
This bottle's
That's why
okay.
you take hot water and let it
I
go.
forgot you wouldn't have a bottle that's done. You throw it out.
I would just like to say, Skinny, thank you for at least. No, I'm not even gonna make the joke. I just
No, make it. Make
I
a joke.
was gonna say, did you fake leaving the room to get the lotion?
No, I left the room. I went to my bedroom. I could go get the lotion.
Right there. No, I can't just pull up this lotion real quick.
He's not a prop comic. Come on now. He ain't Carrot Top. He's just not just have the bottle of lotion. I'm gonna at the last minute I'm gonna bring up lotion and then bow, hit him with the lotion. That's
with the lotion. You about that Cocoa Radiant over here. That's right.
Yeah, that's the only one to buy. I don't buy anything else.
David's finished.
Damn.
Sorry, Dave.
Are we doing a DTD or no?
Oh my God. Not at all.
If we haven't already scared people away.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
This guy asking
All
about
right,
it.
man. I'm just
We're
gonna
just keeping
say
the same template and keeping that for next week. We're just gonna scratch up the boys.
scrap it up.
Although I guess we should at least maybe give a rating on the boys since we talked some like people might forget that's what we were
probably
talking about.
Watch that shit.
Yeah,
I'm still laughing from the last one.
Just watch the boys. Did you read you just listened to us talk an hour and 42 minutes about the insanity of the boys and every other thing. If you didn't figure out by now that we like the show, I don't know what to tell you. Go watch it.
Watch the show.
Yeah, that's more than a recommendation. That's what are you waiting for?
Drink your Fresca.
Yeah. Although I'll say this, I do know one person who didn't like the boys.
Who is that person so I can never talk to them?
You do know them, so I will say it off the air because I'm not going to put that person under the bus.
Sorry if it's wifey.
Huh?
It's not your wifey, is it? I'm sorry.
No, she loves that.
He stays.
But no, but the person said that for them they found it actually predictable this season. But I was there, I'm like, I get it, I guess, but I was like, I enjoyed watching it though.
Hold on. This person predicted an elephant penis choking someone?
I mean, really?
This person predicted people's heads blowing off in a courtroom.
Yeah.
That's what they said. That's what they said. That's not me.
That's what she said. That's what they
I
said.
the reaction to that.
That's not a she. It's a he. I'm gonna put that out there because there's no.
Okay, it's a he. It's a he. Okay.
It's a he.
Lotto numbers, because if this person predicted elephant, giant dick, and exploding heads, that person knows way more about the universe than I do. Let's get the lotto numbers.
Straight up.
That show, I'm sorry, in the sense that it was predictable that the AOC wannabe Victoria Newman was a powered character. Yes, that was predictable.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
Oh,
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
And then, then here's the thing: the way she was acting in that scene kind of was the way the camera was moving was well done.
Yeah.
But then when I went back and rewatched and seeing where the explosions were happening, where she was looking, and her actual expression, I was like, "Oh, that's not fear. It didn't look like fear on second watch."
I gotta go back to
the first one. It looked like fear.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I was watching and I was like, who could it be? And I was just like, it has to be her. Because it's not.
There's one scene. Yeah. Sorry, there's one scene in the courtroom that gives it away where the head of the FBI, CIA, whatever she is, like Mallory.
Yeah. Mallory.
She grabs that DEA, whatever lady, to grab her out of the courtroom, and as she's running away, she looks back at her assistant and accidentally blows up her assistant's head and goes back. And I was like, oh, when you go back to watch it, you kind of catch the moments where people's heads are exploding, and that one she didn't mean to do.
I gotta say, it doesn't seem like she needs to be looking at them because she blows up the guy's head at the end from the church, and she's not looking through the window. She's on the phone with him.
Yeah, I think she has to have some sort of communication with them or some sort of.
Okay, because when they cut back to her, she's just outside. She's not looking at him.
Yeah, I guess what? So what? When she does it, it's just that random in the room because it felt targeted.
But that's the thing. I think it's targeted. Sorry, Dave.
All right, no, but remember there's the death the early death of the head exploding, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's her name? Like the girls who were trying to get the boys cleared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the CIA agent.
Why would she want? I don't. That's the one thing I wasn't able to put together. Why would she want to kill that girl?
Well, she was gonna tell her something. No, wasn't that woman about?
She was. She was.
Yeah,
She
she was
says,
about.
"I know." She says, "I know something, and you guys need to." So pretty much, she was probably gonna say, like, "Hey, I think this person is
this too."
right."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no joke. When I was watching it, I was just like AOC. Okay, I get it. That's cool. And then
see,
I was just like, okay, Newman seems like the AOC. Okay, and then I was just like, oh, okay, I got that one.
they made it their point to make you think it was the Fresca up until the last second. Up until literally the last second, where he opens it and his head explodes right before he even touches it, and then you're like, "Shit, it's not the Fresca."
But no, the person said that they thought that the concept of like Becca, Stormfront's fate, and a few other things are like, oh, it's typical.
I think Edgar. She's working with Edgar. 100%.
I think so. I think so too.
Yeah,
Okay, this person is saying that the predictable, because if they're saying Stormfront being defeated was predictable, yes, because again, we need to kill Nazis. If you're gonna write a show like that, you're gonna fucking kill Nazis. That's not a prediction. That's a fact. If you're writing a story where Nazis are around and you don't kill them, I don't want your show. You kill Nazis. And then what's the other thing they found predictable? Because I feel like the things they found predictable are things that are things that
were predictable.
Yeah, everyone saw.
Becca dying was predictable to them.
I knew Becca was gonna die. I thought she died in the car crash and he was gonna pull the kid out. I thought they were gonna kill her earlier. I didn't even think she would get to his door. There's so many times where I was just like, oh, they didn't kill Becca yet? Man, I can't wait till they kill her, because I knew she was gonna die. Like, you're not gonna leave the mother of that kid alive so that she keeps raising him after all the shenanigans they're doing.
Exactly.
You need the kid to be broken.
That's true.
And there's no other way to break a kid than to accidentally kill your own mom.
Oh yeah, you're gonna lose a mommy for sure.
Yeah.
He spends the whole show talking about how much he cares about his mom. He gets mad at her once, like any normal kid would, except his father's a superhero and flies him away from his mom. He immediately regrets it and reverts into doing the things that comfort him that his mom told him to do. And then it kills her. You knew, like, I watched that and I was just like, yeah, I know they're gonna kill the mom. Like, I expected that. Also, Dave, feel brave enough to say that you are the person. You can say.
I'm not. I'll tell you who it is right after the show.
My friend said. It's like, Dave.
I'll tell you this: the person's been on the show.
Oh, then it's then I know who it is. Fuck.
I don't know why are we not saying the name? It's
because I didn't get permission from him to give his opinion on the show. I guess
He doesn't want his head to explode.
if it's rude, next time don't bring them up then.
No, I mean, like, let them come on the show then.
Oh, by all means, yeah.
Let them come on the show and talk about
next
it.
time, tell us someone wants to come on and defend their illogical points, and we'll let them come on and destroy.
Come before the jury.
The jury needs to judge. Judgment call, bitches.
That's just cold.
Oh,
I bet you the next time he's on the show, we will make sure to bring it up.
I will say that the boys did a good job of holding themselves back and having self-control and not killing a bunch of main characters just to say, hey, we can kill these niggas.
True.
I guess that's true. I actually was expecting Kimiko to die at some point.
Yeah, but Kimiko always dies. I'm just expecting for that to run its course for her to die too many times.
Wait,
however,
but she is immortal.
Essentially. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Guys, we got to wrap it up. We just Green Lantern series coming to HBO, Netflix not moving forward with the Magic Order. Furiosa adds Anya Taylor, Chris Hemsworth, and Yahya Abdul Mateen II. David
Hasselhoff, the Mad Max thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And David Hasselhoff cast as Superman in Dark Knight Death Metal animated shorts.
Okay.
Okay, that's all the news, guys.
Sure, why not?
Way to end on David Hasselhoff.
I don't want us to go much longer because we're already at almost 2 hours. So
yeah. Also, you were right. Utopia is I'm done. I'm done after 2 episodes. The American version, anyway. It's trash.
Yeah.
And you guys don't watch The Third Day with Jude Law. It's trying too hard. Haunting of Bly Manor is pretty good, actually. I like it.
It's okay.
I like the fact that they reused cast from the first season in different roles, and it's just like a completely new show.
I like the original episode of The Ghost more than I like any of the show because,
But that only reveals itself anyway. It's worth the watch. It's worth the watch. I don't want to give away too much.
Just a reminder to geeks out there, if you're a Star Trek fan, Discovery starts back this week. So if you're listening to this live, it's coming back tomorrow. If you're listening to it at the end of the week, if you're listening to this podcast on Friday, it is back already. Also, happy Thanksgiving to all our Canadian listeners. We didn't get to say it earlier. This is kind of an anniversary in a sense. One of the first episodes we did of Geektastic Sci-Fi after we left the radio station a couple years ago was a Thanksgiving episode. So we are, funny enough, ending this. Once again, if you guys are watching this on Facebook, you're going to have to start watching us on YouTube as of next week.
Better come.
Yeah, we're going to be on YouTube. Expect to see you guys there. It's just as easy, and you can comment, and you can have your account, and it will be just as fun. Come and join us. You guys can make sure to follow all things Franklin Armstrong on franklinarmstrong.com. There's more news to come about that as well. That's pretty much the whole show, guys. Is there anything else you guys want to tell people?
Man.
He's got a lot, but he doesn't have the time.
I mean, like, just keep fit and have fun.
Yeah. Keep fit is very important. It's
true.
Anyway.
Keep fit, stay in your red zone, stay the hell home if you're in Montreal. If you're in Ontario, don't party too hard because you're allowed to. If you're anywhere else in the world,
no, we're on lockdown too. In Toronto.
Yeah, they
Ontario and Quebec
really?
are both on lockdown. Yeah.
Our gyms are closed again.
Out there, going to restaurants despite lockdown or going to restaurants up north. Y'all are mass spreaders. I hate you. Learn how to
if you can find Bill Burr's opening monologue for SNL, find it on Twitter.
Watch that.
Oh man,
watch
so
that,
much mad people. Oh, so good.
Skinny needs his own "What Yanks My Chain" show. I swear to God, or grinds my gear. What really grinds my gear?
We didn't get to play the promos earlier, so I'm going to play one before I sign this out. So shout outs to the crew over at the Morning Detour. If you guys have heard anything that we ever talk about here, we always tell you guys to check out the Morning Detour, which is a Montreal-based urban talk radio show available on Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check it out on the TuneIn app, and you can find episodes on franklinarmstrong.com after the episodes have aired. That's it, guys. We're out. Peace, everybody.
Bye.
Ooh. Oh, that's it? That was quick.
That was a very quick promo.
Robin.
We